Okay, so today we're going to be assembling our quarter flat journal for the Boho Beach art journal. And I have all the pages here. This is the structure of it. And if you guys want to see how I create some of these pages, inserts for the journal, prior to constructing yours, because you want them inside too, then look at, there's such cute little mandala mini blankets we made. We did some faux painted wood paper. I painted this, and I do a little tutorial there. And then we also created this paper that has sand texture on it. And then we did just the basic canvas cover with a couple little things on it. And we're definitely not done with this cover. It's just, we don't want to add too much before we start actually working in the pages, or it gets too thick. So I just wanted to show you, I've got all the pages, how I want them assembled in my book, and I'm just basically going to go through and sew it and put it together. I'm sure you've watched some of my other tutorials on how to do this, but I'm always going to show you how to put the specific ones together as well. So we need an awl today, your bone folder, some bookbinding needles, and your waxed linen. And if you need to see some suggestions for using alternate tools because you don't have these, you can definitely go back and watch my tutorial on how to create a quarter flat journal, and I'll go through all that with you, just the basic sewing technique. And we're always going to use this same sewing technique with the quarter flat journals. It is a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Also on my website at YvetteSt.Amant.com, there's, if you go to office supplies, or sorry, art supplies, then I'll have a little starter kit there for you that you guys can order. And I'm not selling the starter kit. I have just simply gone on Amazon and pulled a link of the best kits that I found useful, so that I've got that resource for you. So the first thing we're going to do is just fold all our pages in half. I already did this little mandala. And if you did the tutorial with me on how to get that embossed texture on the surface of this mandala, these ones are a little bit trickier to fold because they are so thick. So just take your time. You can still fold them. That's the center of my book. And then you'll just go and fold all your pages in half. Get my needle out the way there. Okay, and I like to keep my pages how they're going to be in the book so I don't lose, because I went through literally trying to just figure out what I'm going to put in each page. And which direction I'm going to have them fold. So you definitely want to, before you start folding them, just figure out which direction they're going to be folding. This one, the craft paper designs on the inside. This one, it's on the outside. Here's the paper that we surfaced with Glimmer Mist. Going to fold that to the inside. So everything that you see in this book so far, before we construct it here, I have done tutorials on. So I will have all those tutorials up for you to look at, so that you can create the same inserts. Here's another little mandala blanket I designed, a little embellishment. This is going to be a fat book, so it's going to be a lot bigger than the vintage book we did. And it's got all these pom-poms. I was going to wait until last to do the pom-poms, but I wanted to get a tutorial for you guys. So it's probably going to be a little more difficult for me to put this book together because it is so thick. However, just keep in mind for the center one, if you want to add pom-poms, I would suggest just waiting until your book construction and it comes to the page where you're going to embellish, or the time when you're going to embellish it at the end to put the pom-poms, just so it's, you know, not in your way. I've never started one of these quarter flat journals that have started off so thick. It usually happens as, oh, I already folded this one, as I go along in the book. Plus, I think I added an extra page in this book. I usually put 7, including the cover, and I put 8. Plus, I did the 2 mandalas in the center. So, oh gosh, 10 pages. Okay, so we're really stretching it for this one. All right. So because these pages are thick and there's a lot going on in them, you just really need to pay attention and make sure they're lined up properly. And I am going to use, actually had, I have these giant clips I always use. Grab those out. Sorry, you have to see my arm there. But you want to clip the pages so they stay in place when you're sewing. I should have just, I had some clothesline pins out earlier. Those would work great for this because it's so thick, but if you have these giant clips, they also work fantastic. And I would definitely, because we've got so much inside, just clip both sides, because you don't want the pages to move around when you're, you know, poking the holes in it and you're doing the sewing and all that kind of stuff. So I've got it all secure. And just double check my pages here, make sure they're lined up. Okay, and then we can go ahead and make our holes. And you have seen me probably in a couple of videos. I will, when I did my tutorial on it, I actually measured, but as you start making these, you don't measure anymore, but you want to do a hole at 3 inches and then an inch from each end. So you'll have a hole at 1 inch, 3 inch, and 5 inch. And me, I am just eyeballing it. So our first hole is going to go right in the center of my mandala. Now this is a thick book, and I have got fabric and all kinds of stuff. So just want to make sure you got your hole in there. That's the first one. And then the next one is about 1 inch from the top. Poke it right through. Watch your fingers. And then this one is 1 inch from the bottom. So you have your holes in. Get your thread. When you're measuring the thread, you want to do 3 lengths of your spine. Okay, and most of the time I do my tag in the front here, but I think this time, because I have a mandala, I'm going to do it from the center just to kind of you know, spruce it up a bit, and then I can have like a little tag with a pom-pom at the end or something like that. I'm just trying to change it up for you guys. So in the center, make sure you leave a little tag, and then through the bottom hole, whoops. Okay, back up to the top. So you're going to skip the center hole, right back up to the top, and then you're going back through the center. Make sure when you're coming up through the center that you're on the other side of your thread, and then you can remove that. Gotta remember to put my needles away so I don't find them on the... Okay, so you have your threads in the middle, and you just want to adjust them, pull lengthwise, make sure they're taut so they're nice and secure. Make sure that they're, you know, if you want them even, you can have them even. I don't mind mine being uneven, but you just want to pull in the direction of the spine, not out this way, or you can tear your pages. And then we're just going to go right over left and left over right. And left over right. And we're going to remove the clips. Gotta be careful because I have my cute little embellishments here that I don't want to tear, my little pom-poms. So I've got to be gentle. All right, so they don't snag anything. Okay, and the last one. Definitely would be easier if you just had, this one's caught, the clothesline pins. Okay, so this time I've got my little string in the center. I thought this would be really cute. I can, you know, add something on the end of it, another little component or a little tassel, whatever. And then when I fold it up, there's my journal. We haven't even started embellishing the inside yet, and I'm going to do so much more embellishing on the cover, but let me just do a quick flip through all the cute little paper that we prepared with the sand on it. I've got the faux wood. We've got a couple blank pages. Look at this mandala, how cute. It just ends up separating. So you've got half of it on this side, and you're going to journal over here, and you've got another little mandala design over here that's a little more subtle. And we've got more pages. Here is our texture that we also created with the Mr. Paints. And we've got some blank pages. You come to the center of the book. You see sand on this side. You can journal over here. You've got your little boho beach blanket in the center with the mandala. Cute little pom-poms. And then over here, same thing. You've got the exact same pages. You can do something different. Your little mandala in the center. And we are completely ready to start journaling in our boho beach journal. So I can't wait for you guys to join me in my tutorials on how we work within this journal and all the fun embellishments we're going to do with this journal. Plus, we're going to add some really neat designs to the spine here. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.